All right, we're back out at beautiful Fort Worden for a nice day hike. Crystal clear this morning. Should be able to get some great views along the coast, down by the lighthouse. Should be a great day for a day hike. See you out there. Manzanita trees are nice and red today in this crystal clear blue sky.
So party, so party.
Kath's going to take her first potty break of the morning right here. And while she's doing that, I'm going to take a little tour of the artillery battery up here. So this is the Cornelius Tolles battery. You can see the platform there for the artillery guns. Up there, that rounded shape. And then I'm sure the ammunition and office spaces there on either side where the gun placement is. Just adjacent to the artillery guns placement. I think this is one of the prettiest trees here on the entire hike that we're going to do today. It is a big dude right there. Beautiful. All right, we're going to hike up the hill here and go over to the coast and hike along the artillery placements here along the water. It's a beautiful day. Little deersy weirsies enjoying the weather. That's Mount Washington, I think. Oh! See the lighthouse down there.
Okay, well thanks for that.
Yep. Gorgeous view of Port Wilson Lighthouse. We'll be walking down there on the road a little bit later on this hike. What a great day. We've got the deer parade going on today. There's another one up here by this building. I don't know whether you can see him just yet. But he's definitely not intimidated.
She's a pretty mama.
This would say she, because it is a mama deer.
They're fuzz. They're deer fuzz.
All right, we've completed our little loop along the top of the artillery hill. Artillery placements. We're coming back down off the hill on the road, heading back down to where we parked the car, and then we'll be heading into the Fort Worden military quarters down there and doing a walk around that area before we head down to the lighthouse.
She said, I really had thought about quitting prior to that incident because I just
Indoor leash joint,
on a leash.
except on the leash. Don't forget to touch your barricade down here. Doesn't count unless you touch the barricade. All right, we gotta make sure Kath touches the barricade. Okay, she's good. She's good. All right, since we're going back by the truck, Kath is going to drop off some of her clothes and her sunglasses, or excuse me, her regular glasses. And then we're going to proceed on down the road here. Head over to the right over there. We're going to go through the RV, the wooded area of the RV park. Got two RV parks here. One is called the Woods and the other one is down on the beach. All right, here's the entrance to the Woods campground here at Fort Worden. They may call it the Forest Campground, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I do. Where's a Buffy?
A Buffy!
A Buffy.
Mr. Buffy!
Yep, this is definitely one of my favorite campsites. Trying to get something hooked up there, having difficulty. So.
Moving into the Fort Worden military quarters up here. You can see a couple more deer up there by the building. Okay, we're going to walk along the perimeter of the drill field here in the middle of Fort Worden. We're going to hike over to the officers' quarters. senior non-com quarters over here. The last time we were on this street here where the officers' quarters are, there was a ton of deer tucked in between the buildings down here. And at the end of the officer quarters row, you got a beautiful overlook onto the Sound. Great view of the ferry going somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, headed down towards the lighthouse now. It's at the end of that spit of land. Absolutely gorgeous down here today. So clear, that water is so blue. Takes on the color of that nice blue sky. If you're into kayaking, this is the place to pick up your kayak rentals. And they even have tours. And don't forget to get your Discover Pass, which gets you entry into all of the state parks, Washington State Parks. $45 for the year. Okay, we're entering into the beachfront RV campground. Gonna walk down here and then cut over to the right over there when we get done walking through the campground down to the lighthouse. Looking at Artillery Hill up there on the left. We were up there a little bit earlier, looking down on the lighthouse. There's a beach access point if you wanted to go out on the beach. If the tide is right, you can hike along the beach all the way down around the lighthouse on the beach. If the tide is in, you can't quite do that. All right, we're taking a little shortcut up out of the RV park. Wait. Well, if you like deer, this is your lucky day, because we have seen a good number of deer. Here's another 3 or 4 that are just off the little walking path, enjoying themselves. Back there, this must be his brood, his harem. Yeah, $2.
Bigger.
Hey, buddy.
You're so big.
And I got a couple of babies here across the street. Here we come. This is Fort Wilson Lighthouse ahead. we've left the lighthouse and we're retracing our steps along the main road back up to where the car is parked. So we have a bald eagle up here in the tree. Kath heard him chortling when we were coming down the hill towards the beach. Beautiful bird up there. Alright, one more little trek through the Fort Worden military quarters here. Take you by and show you the park office down here where you can buy a discovery pass or make a reservation to camp. Made it back to the truck. 5.2 miles today. Beautiful hike, beautiful day.